overcome from being in the lows of losing a game to the highs of knocking off a nationally ranked team, and just balancing out those lows and highs so that you come back in on this week on an even note?
Maturity is probably the number one thing. You know, if we're a mature group and know that we need to go in and win this ball game as well, we'll be fine. So it's just, you know, our guys got to be mature. Me bringing them down, you know, keeping them humble and making sure we practice hard this week and do the things that are necessary to win this ball game this week. And, you know, going one week at a time. That week is over. It's done with. So what we did last week doesn't really matter. But we've got to get the corrections fixed that we had last week, you know, in that game and become a better football team. So it's, you know, humbleness and just being mature and going to work this week and making ourselves a better football team.
You feel like your team became a better team last week? Obviously the win says yes, but there's things coaches look at that nobody else really knows.
Yeah, we did. I thought we played with more intensity. I thought we played with some energy. There's some physicality on both sides of the ball. I felt like our offensive line and defensive line did a really good job of dominating the line of scrimmage. Our D-line did a good job of keeping Zach in the pocket, and our secondary did a good job of, you know, locking up the receivers. You know, once there was a time to scramble, or even in our zones, we locked up the receivers and kind of kept them, you know, off balance a little bit. I thought our offensive line did a good job of giving Shane room to run and also giving Caleb room to run as well with some of those plays and protected him well in the pass game. So overall, I felt this group really improved, you know, in 1 week's time. But I really do think it goes back to those. I think each one of these young men, after our loss against UCO, really did look in the mirror and figure out, you know, what do I got to do to make this team better and improve upon it. And, you know, they did that last week in practice. They really did practice really well last week.
Caleb brings that dual threat of running and passing. How does that help your offense?
You just have to defend all 11 guys now. You know, you never know what Caleb's going to do. I mean, he's able to scramble around and gain some yards and you know, with his feet, and he's also able to scramble around and find open receivers and hit them as well. He's just, you know, a very dynamic football player, a very good leader, and he just plays hard, and he's got some intensity about him as well. And, you know, just all the extra work that he does after practice too. You know, he just, not when practice is over, he's out there for another 20, 30 minutes with his receivers, you know, making sure that everybody's on the same page as he is, you know, going into the game, whether it's, you know, against this coverage, he wants this route ran this way, or just getting the timing down as well. So great leader, prepares himself very, very well for each football game. But, you know, him being dynamic as he is really, you know, helps our offense out and gives us, you know, an opportunity to do some things that maybe we couldn't do with Jack.
Now, football is a game of adjustments. Washburn's going to have a full tape on him. Anticipating going to have to make adjustments because they're going to be looking at it differently, but you're going to have to make adjustments based on that?
Pretty much, you know, our calls themselves, you know, kind of take care of, you know, any adjustments that are made. And, you know, it's all based off of, you know, our offensive linemen knowing who the ID is and what run play we're running or what pass protection we're in. So, you know, it's all based off of that. I mean, you're always going to read somebody in those situations. And, you know, it's our O-line getting to the linebackers like they're supposed to, or an outside guy, or maybe it's even a safety. But it's just understanding our reads and who we're blocking in those schemes. And, you know, if we do those things, you know, those things will still be available for us.
But things that maybe Central Missouri wasn't quite as ready for, like the option and that sort of thing, maybe Washburn's more aware of that.
Yeah, they'll be aware of it. I mean, that's every week. You know, Washburn did some things last week too that we hadn't seen prior, so we'll have to prepare for that. So, but it also gives teams more things to prepare for. You know, maybe we run that play this week, and maybe we don't. You know, but they still have to prepare for it, and that's any week. You watch all this game film. Now it's kind of getting to the season where you have, you know, 6 games on every opponent or 5, and now you're breaking down everything and trying to be able to stop everything, or, you know, attack different things. So, you know, every game changes. Every opponent changes just a little bit each game. It's just, you know, us making those in-game adjustments, you know, that will help us, you know, win this ball game. Hopefully, help us win this ball game.
How do you feel the adjustments went on the back end of the defensive side? You made some position changes there.
I thought they went well. You know, I'm still, you know, not happy with, you know, the couple of big plays that we did give up. You know, Benny got beat on that one. He just kind of got his hips turned the wrong way. We were playing, you know, a man under concept on when Trevion got beat. I just wish our safety would have cheated over just a little bit more and got over the top of that, and that would have helped out. And then the one, you know, towards the end of the game, we just, you know, missed tackles and bad angles. You know, those are the three things that I, you know, didn't like with our secondary. But I thought overall, the changes made really helped us improve. I mean, we didn't really give up, a lot. I mean, I thought guys matched up really well, and and getting John back really helped too. Just with his length and his size and his speed and understanding our defense, that really helped us improve defensively as well.
A lot of several of the players after the game mentioned they felt like they fought better in this game than maybe that they had prior in the year. Is that something that comes from internal? Is something that was addressed as the coaching staff to the team during the week?
We talked about effort, all week long, practicing like every rep's a game rep, and our kids did that. Usually before the games, I'm really amped up and energized, and I kind of told them this week it's kind of on them to do those things, and then they did it because, Dawson Reynolds and I, who you're getting ready to talk to in a little bit, always have a little thing before the game. I didn't do that this week, and they kind of handled it on their own, so I think that little tradition of Dawson and I has kind of gone to the back burner now for a little bit. But I thought our kids did a good job of having energy, having excitement, having enthusiasm, playing in front of a crowd like that as well, really gives you that extra energy and that extra juice as well, because it was an amazing crowd, that was there on Saturday, and it was fun to play in front of. And we needed to put on a show that last week, and our kids did, but we need to see what we did in that game and improve upon it, and probably even give a little bit more effort and play with a little bit more physicality. And I still feel like if we would have played properly defensively, they might not have got 21 points. We might have been held to hold them to 14 or 10, but that's a hard team to hold 21 points to.
When there's 7,100 people, is there ever a moment that you stop and go, look around just for even a second to go, oh, this crowd is huge?
It's always right during a coin flip. It's kind of my time just to kind of look around and see what the atmosphere is like, the energy, and because usually everybody's in the stadium at that point. So yeah, it was cool. It was seeing some kids have their shirts off with paintings on them as well, and just the energy that student section was bringing. And you look around to the home crowd, and it was home side, and it was packed too. And then just the standing room. I mean, there's people standing all the way around the track. I mean, not just one or two deep, but it was 3 or 4 deep, and it's a cool atmosphere. And you get you get in a situation like that. It's fun for the kids to play in a situation like that, and it just gives them a little extra motivation, a little bit extra energy, to go out and win ball games. And that extra energy is the one that helps you with your extra effort. And sometimes you don't get tired when you have all those people in the stands, cheering for you. That's the last thing you think about. You just want to go out and perform at a high level.
The big plays that you've given up on defense and passing in the last couple of weeks, is part of it just tip your hat to 2 elite offenses that you're up against, that they're going to make a few big plays no matter what you do, or how do you address that going forward? I know you made some changes, but it's just your mindset going in, knowing that these are elite offenses.
I'm just, bringing Jackson, into the free safety position just because I think he's a very physical kid, and he plays the game a little bit differently. He's got a different little mentality. He's kind of got my mentality, as a safety, and, that helps out tremendously. Some of them were just great plays, by the other team as well. Benny in a few situations, a couple of them just great plays by the receiver going and getting the ball. The one against Trevion this last game, it was a great route. It was great ball placement, and there really wasn't much he could do about, the pass and where it was thrown and be able to defend it. But if our safety was there, it might have helped out. So it's just, just get ourselves in better spots, understanding situations and things like that, and reading things just a little bit better, and doing a better job of getting our hands on the receivers to disrupt that timing. If we disrupt that timing, a lot of times, those balls are incomplete. So we just have to do a better job of that, disrupting the timing, staying a little bit locked, to the hip a little bit more, and reading the hands instead of trying to play the ball sometimes.
Washburn doesn't have the shiny record or the national ranking of your last couple of opponents, but they are a really good football team, it would appear, looking at box scores and how their games have gone.
Yeah, and I think our kids have seen that already. We stressed that to them yesterday. They've already been up watching film, and they know Washburn's a very talented team. I know they got 3 really skilled wide receivers that are very talented, that can run very, very well, so that's going to be a challenge for our secondary. They do a good job with the run game, quarterback run game, especially when number 5's in the game as well. They're starting to rotate quarterbacks back. They got, one of them back, and he's healthy now. He's kind of more of their pass guy than anything else. But, they play both of them, so that makes a challenge for your defense. But, they're talented. They're a very talented group, and defensively they run to the ball, play multiple coverages. They move and twist quite a bit and slant quite a bit, and they play physical. So, I'm expecting this to be one of the more physical games that we've played all year, and trying to prepare our kids for that as well. And so, they're a 1-4 team, but that team could very easily be 5-0 or 4-1 right now. I mean, they're a very, very good football team, and we got to get ourselves ready to play this team that's, very talented and very physical, and we just got to be more talented and more physical than they are on Saturday.
On the other side of the ball, what are you seeing on tape of them defensively that you have to be aware of offensively?
They're similar to us, defensively. They were in a 4-man front. They used to get in a lot of 3-3 stack and things like that, but they've kind of gotten away from that. Playing some cover 4, just like our defense does. Rolling to some cover 3 as well. From some slants, some twists, in third and long situations. But just a physical group that plays hard. I mean, they play very hard defensively, and they get to the ball and they create turnovers here and there. But they're just a team that we got to be solid in our blocks. We got to get the run game established, and our receivers got to find ways to get open when they do man up. So just a good talented group that's solid all around the board and then play the physical.
Getting that win Saturday gives you that obvious boost, but it really gives you a boost, or let me ask, does it give you a boost mentally for postseason and things that you want to achieve for the season, having a win like that? It could have been your third conference loss.
Yeah, I mean, getting to the postseasons, our main goal, win the conference is our main goal, and we still got 6 more games left, I believe. They go so fast you can't even remember anymore, because it happens so fast. What are we, 4-2 right now? So we got 5 more regular season games. But we got to take 1 week at a time, and that is a big boost. That was a big win for us, but for us to have a chance, to get into the playoffs or a chance to even share the title, we got to have some things happen. UCO's got to lose a couple games, and if we win out, everybody else has a loss right now. If we can win out, we'll have 2 losses with everybody else having 2 losses. So now it just kind of goes to the committee on who they think's playing best right now. So we need to take care of this week and then take care of the next week after that. But if these kids come in out and perform at the level that I think they can, I think they got a great chance to win out. But we got to take this week first and beat Washburn.